Hello friends, I hope you all are well. Today we are going to start a new subject. So the name of the subject is satellite communication. So in today's video we will see the introduction to satellite communication. So before starting I will tell you the books which I will be referring to some various topics. So the first book is The Satellite Communication by Jeremy Allnut. The second one is Satellite Communication System by Louis J. Ippolito Jr. The third one is Satellite Communication by Dennis Rodi. And the fourth one is Innovations in Satellite Communication Technology by Daniel Minoli. So these are the books from which I will be referring the topics. So now let's see the meaning of satellite. What do you mean by satellite? A satellite can be a moon, a planet, or a machine that orbits around a planet or a star. So this is the basic definition of satellite. For example, this is a satellite. This is a satellite, which we known as Earth. Why this is a satellite? Because Earth orbits around the sun, which is a star. But usually, usually a satellite is referred to a machine which is launched into the space through a rockets which orbits around a planet or Earth. So this was the example, basic example of satellite. Now, what do you mean by communication? What is communication? Communication is simply the act of transferring information from one place or a person or a group of persons to another. It has three parts. Number one is a sender, second is a message, and the third one is a receiver. Suppose a sender wants to send a message like I will not come today. So the sender sends this message through a medium like mobile phones, or you can say via letter. This message is received to the receiver via the same medium like mobile phones, or you can say via letter. So this was a simple example of communication. Now we understood the meaning of these two. Now let's see the proper definition of satellite communication. In telecommunications, the use of artificial satellites is to provide communication links between various points on Earth. Also, it plays a vital role in global telecommunication system. So this was the basic definition of satellite communication. Now let's see why these satellites are important. So the satellites have a bird eye view that allows them to see larger areas on Earth at one time. This abilities this ability allows them to collect more data at less time at less time. Before satellites, TV signals did not go very far as these signals travel only in a straight line. As you can see in this image, this dish antenna sends the TV signals in a straight line to satellites. But sometimes these signals are obstructed by the buildings, or you can say sometimes it's obstructed by the mountains. So with satellites, these TV signals and phone calls are sent straight upwards to the satellite, and then almost instantly these satellites send them back down to different locations. As you can see on in this picture. This dish antenna sends the signal to the satellite, and instantly this satellite transfer the signal to another location. Now, how satellites orbit the Earth? Most satellites are launched into the space via rockets, as you can see in this image. A satellite orbits the Earth when its speed balanced by the pull of the Earth's gravity. Without this gravity, without its balance, the satellite would fly straight in line off into the space or fall back into the Earth. So commonly we have two types of satellites. One is a geostationary satellite and second one is a polar satellite. So in this image, as you can see in this image, this one is a polar satellite because it travels from pole to pole, and this one is a geostationary satellite. This travels from west to east. So this is how the satellites orbits the Earth. Now, what do you mean by frequency allocation? We need to the satellites to have to assign certain frequencies so that they can work. So allocating frequencies to a satellite service is a very complicated process which requires international coordinations and planning. And this coordination and planning is done by the international telecommunication union. So currently, this union has divided the world into three regions for allocating the frequencies. So in region number one, we have Europe, Africa, Soviet Union, and Mongolia. In region number two, we have North and South America and Greenland. And the last region is region number three. We have Asia, Australia, and Southwest Pacific. Now this is a table in which we have various bands, frequency bands, their range in gigahertz, bandwidth which is also in gigahertz, and the general free applications. So we have band number L, S, C, X, KU, K, and KA. These are the frequency bands in which the frequencies are allocated. Like in L band, we have the frequency range of 1 to 2 gigahertz. Bandwidth is 1 gigahertz, and the application is mobile satellite services. So like this, we have different type of frequency bands. Now let's see the different types of categories of satellite services. So currently we have four types of satellite services. The first one is fixed satellite services. So this is a satellite services which is used between the terminals at a specific points using one or more satellites. So this makes use of geostationary satellites with a fixed ground station. As you can see in these images, we have a fixed ground station which transmits the signal to the satellite and it sends to the another location which is also a fixed point. So this satellite is used. This satellite is used for transmission of IP data, video, and audio. It also it this fixed satellite service can also do point to point or point to multi point. Now let's move on to the next service, that is broadcast satellite services. This satellite service supports transmission and reception via satellite of signals that are intended for the direct reception to the general public. It can only point to multi-point service because it has to broadcast the message to large number of people. As you can see in these images, this satellite is transmitting the signal to everyone. There is a single satellite. Okay. Next one is mobile service satellite service. This satellite is intended to provide wireless communication to any point on the globe. This satellite service enhances this capability because we have to transmit the signal to anywhere on the globe, because the people have started to using the mobile service more often to call or to send message at any given time, while they are on the move or they are on the sitting at their home or at some other place. These services are also used in the rural areas. So these satellites are mainly in the MEO or LEO regions. Now let's see a last one services. There's the maritime mobile services. This is between the mobile satellites, the earth stations, and a one or more satellites. This service is usually between the ships, which are ships in the oceans, because there is no mobile tower found in the ocean. As you can see here, this is a satellite with transferring the signals to the ship, which has a S box, TV antenna, and communication equipment, and they are sending the same signal, communicating to the rest of the places on the ground, and then it's like a triangle bit of the signals. So additionally, we have a one more service which is known as GPS, or you can say Global Positioning System, which uses the array of satellites. This service is used to determine the position of a certain objects on the planet. As you can see in these images, they are forming a cluster, or you can say array of satellites, and communicating with each other. So this was the introductory part of today's topic, the satellite communication. I hope you understood our today's video. Give a like to this video and subscribe the channel to and press the bell icon to get the notification in the future. See you in the next video. Till then, thank you.